The Kingfish and the King of the Valley battle it out on the high banks. Uric gets career win number 50 at the House of Power. Quick Time is back, and I'm sure all of you can't wait. The following video is brought to you by Cranes Outdoor Power Equipment. Visit them on the web at cranesope.com. Hello and welcome to another episode of Quick Time. I'm your host, Mike Warren. We'll have some highlights from most of the area tracks. Albany, Saratoga, though, did not get their show in this past Friday night, but they're going to have some great racing coming up within the month of July, so stay tuned. We get things started at the Lebanon Valley Speedway here in the Pro Stock action by the flat companies, as it would be Todd Hoffman taking the early race lead in the 08 machine, working it up into turn number 1 and 2 for the first time, as he would have the early advantage. Meanwhile, a little bit of trouble. Rick Dempsey going to go around. Rob Yetman nowhere to go. Richie Crane there. Joe LaFlamme going to pickle his way around in between turn number 1 and 2, as that'll bring out the caution again. Off of the restart, Hoffman right there gets a little doozied by Ricky Duzlak up through turn number 1 and 2 as he gets into the back bumper. Duzlak going to find a head of steam coming off of turn number 2 that time and looking to take the lead away down the backstretch. He does. Here's Hugh Page on the inside trying to take the number 2 spot away as well. As you can see now, Rob Yetman working his way up through the field, and Hugh Page going to go around as him and Hoffman come together. Richie Crane having some trouble on the front stretch as well, as he's going to take the long walk back to the pit area. Off the restart, Chuck Towsley with some head of steam down on the inside lane, trying to get by the 29 of Duzlak up through turn number 1 and 2. As he tries to take advantage, but Duzlak still just too strong on the outside lane. Meanwhile, as they run down the back straightaway, caution will come out for the 311 of Brian Keogh and the 118 of Jeff Kelmel in turn number 2. As that would set up another restart, putting Rob Yetman on the back bumper of the top 2. Yetman going to go high to try to follow Duzlak, then try to switch low to see if he can get a run on Towsley, as Towsley would have the lead at the line that time as they worked their way up through the corner, still side by side. What a battle it was, but Towsley would find some pressure down the backstretch and take the lead away. Yetman looking to follow behind him, but Duzlak going to try to answer back up on the top side. Towsley going to try to make his move up off of turn number 3 and 4 to keep the advantage on the inside lane, but as they come to the flag, it would be Chuck Towsley still with the race lead. Final time off the corner here as Towsley gets a little out of shape from Duzlak, but coming down the front stretch, it would be Towsley holding on to this one as he would continue to lead this one down the backstretch. Yetman now with one final shot at him, going to work his way down into turn number 3 and 4. He'd push it down to the inside lane, all the way under the berm, trying to make something happen, but Towsley on the outside lane going to make it stick, and this time he would come down and he would see the checkered flag for the second win of the season. To the modifieds we go now. Up on the outside lane, it would be the 55 machine of the Kingfish. Mike King with the early advantage. Kenny Tremont with a rare up front starting position, working his way up early as he pushed to the inside of Elmo Reckner, looking for the number 1 spot, number 4 spot, that is, up through turn number 3 and 4 as Tremont working his way down on the inside lane. He would get by Reckner. You see a shower of sparks working past him up through turn number 3 and 4. Meanwhile, the 43 of Keith Flack working his way past Reckner, trying to crack the top 5. The Flack Company's machine would get that position away down the backstretch and work his way down. The 43 would take that position away, but as this happened, Tremont will continue to work his way up as he would push up on the inside of the 87X of Paul Gilardi, working his way down the back straightaway out to about 5 car lengths, and now trying to chase down Chad Jezio for the number 2 spot. 12 laps to go at this point as the 115 slides up in front of Jezio up through turn number 2 as he would take that spot away and set his sights on the Kingfish. Here with just a handful of laps to go, King on the top side, Tremont down low looking to take advantage as we head to the final lap now. Kingfish goes a little bit too high. Tremont powers down on the inside and he takes the number 1 spot away down the backstretch for the second time in 2017. Kenny Tremont looking to hold on and take the advantage. He would power it up off the top and the Sand Lake Slingshot would go to victory lane at the Valley of Speed. King would finish in second. Keith Flack would come home in third. Eddie Marshall fourth, and the Jersey Jet rebounding for a top 5 finish. To Ackerly we go with a little upside down action working its way down as tough break for that 333 machine as he got into a little trouble. Then some sprint car action as well, and this one was twin spins, or flips, if you will. We move down now to the street stock feature event out at the Ackerly Speedway, as it would be Ray Tarantino and Travis Brockner up on the front row of this one, as Tarantino going to look to try to take the advantage here in the early going up into turn number 1 and 2, as Steve Williams right there as well, looking to make his presence known up off the corner, trying to make it 3 wide down the back straightaway. Williams looking to make a push, but Tarantino would hold on to the number 2 spot as he still tried to chase down Brockner up through turn number 2 as they would get away down the backstretch. A little bit of bumper tag down the back straightaway, but nothing too crazy as Brockner continued to lead this one up on the top side. Tarantino would come down low, looking to make something stick as it comes down the front straightaway, as this battle would continue. Here's Tarantino this time trying to get around him, but goes around himself. A tough break for the 75 car, who had a great race going on early. Off the restart here in the final few laps, you look as now Brockner would have trouble. He'd slide up, and that allows the 53 of Williams to get by, as Brockner would slow and have to pull into the pit area, and this is where Bob's 8 would take advantage in the 8 machine, looking to take the number 2 spot away, as the 151 would have trouble. Off the restart, the aforementioned Sate going to make a move up on the outside lane. He's going to go right on the back bumper of the 53 of Williams down through turn number 3 and 4, looking to make it stick off the corner. As they come off at turn number 4, it would be Williams holding on to the white flag. Final lap to go in this one, though. Sate no shot at him as Williams brings it down off at turn number 4, and he would pick up the win in the street stock feature at Ackerly. To the modifieds now, Richie Urich going to lead the field to the green, and what a battle this one would be is up on the top side now. The 85 of Kyle Van Duzer looking to make something stick. Danny Tyler going 3 wide right away as he pushes down on the inside lane, with Jam and Jimmy Wells trying to make something happen. Danny Tyler right there, Anthony Perego along with Richie Smith looking to fight through the corner as they bring him up off at turn number 3 and 4 this time and battle him down the front straightaway. Urich still out in front of this one at Dockenhausen up there as well, as Tyler pushes to the inside lane. Dockenhausen getting in to Tyler a little bit, and a bunch of cars with nowhere to go in this one, as Mike Rickey involved, Perego involved as well, and a tough break for a number of cars as Perego immediately gets out of the car to go to Dockenhausen. Not sure why, because Perego had nowhere to go in that one. Off of the restart, here comes the 85 Van Duzer working on the top side of Urich off by turn number 3 and 4 is Richie Smith going to find a move up on the outside lane looking for the number 2 spot. Door open on the inside for Showtime. Danny Tyler as well coming off at turn number 2 as they battle down the back straightaway. The 10 of Urich, the 16 of Smith, off through turn number 4 this time, would battle it down the front straightaway as the 10 machine would continue to lead this one, but Smith trying to battle up on the top side, all but Showtime stalking him right behind him as they have this 3-car battle continuing up through turn number 1 and 2. Caution will come out on the speedway, though, as down the back straightaway, the 119 of Brian Malcolm would bring out the yellow in the county waste entry. That would allow Showtime Danny Tyler to get by Richie Smith for that number 2 spot and go to work on Richie Urich as he would finally find the lane off at turn number 4, but Urich still holding on. That time, though, Urich drifted up a little bit too much as the 97T put his nose in there enough to take the lead away down through turn number 3 and 4. Urich trying to battle back, but a tough break for the 10 machine as he would sit in the number 2 spot and have to hold on and watch as Danny Tyler would win down on the Ulster County Bull Ring. So Danny Tyler grabs the win. Urich would have to settle for second. Richard Smith third, and the Farriers, Kenny and Scott, finishing 4th and 5th. To the Fonda Speedway we go. Some street stock action as Randy Castleman working on the outside lane of the 26 of Chase Oscar down the back straightaway, as Castleman going to work him down into turn number 3 and 4. Looking to take home his second win in a row, but the 26 machine Oscar trying to battle back on the inside lane. Castleman brings him down the front straightaway, though, as he would see the checkered flag from Joey Chris. To the Pro Stocks, now one of the top-rated races of the night in the Northeast as they work their way up through turn number 1 and 2. It would be Jimmy Normoyle looking to make something happen on the inside lane and take that race away as they work their way down the backstretch. Trying to make something happen. Nick Stone up on the top side looking to make a move early. Ivan Joslin there as well, as cousin Luke Horning trying to make his move on the top as well off of turn number 3 and 4, bringing him down the front stretch once again. A little bit of trouble down the front straightaway as a car slows, as cars would look to scatter. Jason Casey right there as well, as you see him just muscling by on the inside, and then a number of cars go around. Nick Stone in there, Frank Twing in there, Jay Casey in there, and then a few more going to pile in there. A tough break for a number of drivers here in the early going, just 3 laps into this feature event. Off the restart, Chucky Domblewski looking to work on the 7N of Normoyle coming off at turn number 4, but as that happens, cousin Luke gets a little out of shape. A number of cars come together off at turn number 4 as well, as that's going to bring yellow back out on the speedway again. Off of that restart now, you're going to see 49 of Joslin looking to make a move down on the inside lane and take that a spot away, trying to push its way up through turn number 3 and 4 that time, all behind Normoil and Dumbluski as they work down off the corner. Here comes the 2H of Horning and the 324 of Jason Casey working it down the back straightaway. Kenny Gates going to work its way through the corner. The 7 of Dumbluski now working to the inside of the 7N of Normoil for that number 1 spot down the front straightaway. But Normoil doing a great job of holding on, but the Iceman, Chucky Dumbluski, still right there trying to make something happen. Dumbluski working it down off at turn number 2 as he's going to have about a half a car length advantage down the back straightaway, but Normoil looking to battle back as this side-by-side battle will continue. Cars looking to work their way through now as the 324 machine of Casey trying to push past and get a position away as the yellow will come out again as Nick Stone is stopped up in between turn number 1 and 2, bringing out the caution. These highlights brought to you by La Rochelle Auto Restoration here from the Fonda Speedway, continuing to work up as Dumbluski would take the lead away down the back straightaway as that 7N continues to push. Here comes the 324 trying to get by the 94 of Ivan Joslin, not the 49, as they work their way up off at turn number 4. Here's Casey taking the number 2 spot, looking to chase down Dumbluski through turn number 3 and 4. These two battle on the King of Dirt series, and they're looking to continue the battle here as Dumbluski would bring them down the front stretch and pick up the win in the Pro Stocks at Fonda. To the modifieds now. Kenny Sparks on the inside had the early advantage as the race leader and the pole sitter, but he got hot shoot as Cody Blue, filling in for Sean Pangman, works his way up on the outside lane and takes the race lead away here in the early going as Sparks trying to shut down a run from Justin Bowler on the inside lane, looking to work it up. Here's Huber and Maresca working it up on the outside lane as well, with Jeremy Wilder going to get involved up off at turn number 2. Huber with a great move gets by Maresca, now pushes to the outside lane on the 50 of Justin Bowler, looking to make something happen, opening the door for Wilder as well. Bunch of them touch though coming through the corner, and that sends Kenny Sparks around down in turn number 2, and it looks like the 19 of Tim Fuller as well, bringing out the yellow flag. Off of the restart, Stuart Friesen starting to mount his challenge. He'd work past the inside of the driver out of Potsdam as he gets by Maresca for position as they bring him down off at turn number 3 and 4. Wilder would have to go pit side in that 24 machine. A tough break for him as he would have to rejoin the field from the tail. Off the restart, Cody Blue still having fun, but this is the part where Stuart Friesen turns into Freddie Krueger and takes dreams away as he would push his way up on the outside lane, and Stuart Friesen would be your new race leader up off at turn number 2. As the Mr. Freeze looking to hold on, Ronnie Johnson looking to work his way up and take a couple positions away. He gets by Bowler on the inside lane. Bobby Varon right there looking in tow to get a little bit closer as well as they push down the backstretch. Meanwhile, Blue going to give up another spot as here comes the 1RJ of Ronnie Johnson up on the top side looking to make something stick as he will get that position away down the backstretch. A good run for Cody Blue overall though in that 34 machine. Caution will come out once again for the 49 of Kenny Sparks just off the infield in turn number 2. As that would set up another Delaware restart with the 44 of Friesen out front, but a number of cars jingle and then one goes around up in between turn number 3 and 4 as that would bring the yellow out once again. Justin Bowler having some trouble on that one, a left rear sneaker going down on the Fox 50 machine, but guess what? Stuart Friesen way out in front of this one, as I'm sure this will shock you. He goes to victory lane once again at the Fonda Speedway. Ronnie Johnson would finish in second, Bobby Varon third, Josh Hohenforth fourth, and Tim Fuller would round out the top 5, battling back. Down to the hard clay we go, and synchronized spins end up on the wall. A tough break here to get things started in some early action, but we're going to move to some feature action now. We'll move to the Pure Stock feature event as leading the field down will be Wayne Taylor and Pete Wiegand. That's a name I haven't heard in a while in these highlights, brought to you by DMC Racing Products as the 58 machine rolling them down. Take a look at Joel Mearns working his way down to the inside lane. He'd look to take a couple positions. He'd get by Jimmy Hykowski for just a second down the backstretch as Wiegand would lose a couple of positions. Now as the battle between Hykowski, Taylor, and Wiegand would continue up toward the front of the field as Mearns up there as well. Then up the inside, here comes Tommy Pickles. That's enough from the Peanut Gallery, as yes, that's actually his name. Tommy Pickles rolls it down off at turn number 4 as he sits in the number 2 spot as the 45 machine of Hykowski would take home the win in what was a great race. To the Sportsman feature now, bringing them down the front straightaway. As it would be Jared LeBall with the early race lead, Howie Finch right there as well as Robbie Knight trying to make a move early as a number of cars trying to push up toward the front of the field in this one as you see Leo Fotopoulos in there as well. This down the back straightaway. You watch the 24 machine working it down off at turn number 4. Joey Bruning, he would look to try to pace his way through as Now Finch looking to take the number 2 spot. He does have that. Is now sliding to the high side is LeBall, and that would allow Howie Finch to say, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. I'm going to be your new race leader in this one as the 4 machine goes to the front. Bruning working his way down off of turn number 2. He'd take that number 2 spot away up through the corner as LeBall trying to battle back on the outside lane, trying to make something happen and hold that position. But Bruning now under heavy pressure from Jesse Leiby up off the corners. Leiby gets by for third, going down the front straightaway, as now it would set up a 3-car battle. Finch up at the front of this one would look to take control as he would push to the middle of the racetrack. Here comes Bruning on the inside lane. He would take that spot away, and Bruning would be your new race leader as the point leader, going to the front here with just about 3 laps to go. Trouble on the 24, and Matt Schultz will bring out the caution once again, but Bruning up at the front of this one, not going to waste any time here as he would continue for this one, but Leiby pushes down on the inside. He would get by Finch for that number 2 spot down the front straightaway. They continue to push as LeBall gets caught way up on the top side. A tough break for your early race leader in this event, as it looks like his night would be done. Meanwhile, 3-car battle for the race lead once again as Finch back out in front off the restart as they carry him down the front straightaway. But as Robbie Knight going to get involved as well, as he now sits in the number 4 spot. They come down to the final couple of laps as cars go around up in turn number 1 and 2. A tough break which would bring out the caution once again, as it seemed like this feature event would never end here in the Sportsman division, as a couple of cars still locked up in turn number 1 and 2. Another restart would set up, and this time off the outside lane. Here comes Bruning down the front stretch. He would take the race lead back away as they continue to run down the front straightaway. Bruning back toward the front, and he would hold on, and as Tim Pitts said, he's the point leader for a reason, as he would pick up the win in the Sportsman feature event. To the modified feature event now, as Mikey Kolka would look to take the early race lead up on the outside lane, but he get into a little trouble early as something would go down on the 25 as he would lose a number of positions up through turn number 1 and 2 as the field caroms by him down on the backstretch. The car's in trouble down through turn number 3 and 4 as, oh baby, a parking lot as cars pile in like my chances with the girl down the street on a Friday night through this one as, oh boy, a little bit more trouble coming down the front stretch. Steve Dodd looks to slow, and it allows a number of cars to take evasive action. Bob McGannon goes around in front. A number of cars pile into him. It was not pretty, as there was a lot of TURBLE trouble, as Tim Pitts would say, throughout this feature event. Meanwhile, up at the front, Richie Urich still holding on to this one as he powers him off at turn number 4. He's going to have Chris Schultz in tow, though, and Schultz is going to give him a shot before this one's all said and done, as Gary Edwards working his way down on the inside lane of Bobby Henschel down the backstretch, looking to take control of this one as he would move through turn number 3 and 4 to try to take that spot away. But back to the battle for the lead now, as keep an eye on this one, as Schultz trying to chase down the 10 of Urich in-lap traffic. As this cat and mouse game would continue down the backstretch, he would get close, even having a great look at him on the inside lane, but Urich staying strong to the task here with just a few to go. This was a better look even for Schultz this time, but lap traffic was going to become a factor as he uses him as a high school basketball pick. That's Mitchell down the backstretch, and, well, the 10 car going to wave bye-bye as for the 50th time in his career, Richie Urich going to come down the front stretch and make the check payable to him as he picks up the win at Middletown. Mike Ruggiero would finish in the number 2 spot. Chris Schultz would hold on for 3rd, Brendan Finley 4th, and Matt Janiak would round out the top 5. Coming up later this year on RacePro Weekly, a special presentation on modified driver Tommy Johnson and how he beat cancer and was able to race once again.
Bad times, it's obviously rough, but it makes the good times even better. It makes them sweeter, makes you want to hold on to the good times longer.
That'll do it for this week's episode of Quick Time. A special thanks goes out to sponsors of Flat Companies, Canaan Auto Supply, La Rochelle Auto Body and Restoration, Cranes Outdoor Power Equipment, Tom Saban, and Bobco Media. I'm Mike Warren. We'll see you next time at the races.